Welcome back to the channel, folks. Mr. H here for a news flash plus commentary video, I guess, on an exclusive to Geeks Worldwide. Marvel Studios are going to be casting a transgender female character. Now, I know what you're thinking. Mr. H is going to go all right-wing. That's where you're wrong. That is where you are so wrong. Not at all, in fact. So I took a look at this, and I saw this 2 days ago now, yeah, because it was on the 29th. So I saw this 2 days ago, and I sat on it because I wondered how all of the other, I say other, but all of the outrage culture channels would have handled this, and they haven't actually covered it, which I'm surprised. But I waited for that because I really wanted to see whether they would go all right-wing and whether I'd be able to do kind of a counter commentary on it, because that's my intent with this, was always to do a counter commentary. Now, I'm not a hypocrite. I think absolutely it's fine that Scarlett Johansson was cast in the role of a trans man for Rub and Tug. Because I think, first and foremost, these people are actors. I don't think that the fact that they're transgender defines them. I don't think that's a defining characteristic of these individuals. I think first and foremost, in this professional capacity, they are just actors. So I don't care about this, not even remotely at all. Now, I don't think that Marvel should have to cast a transgender female. That's one thing I will go on record and say. I don't see the reason why. Just like I don't see the reason why you should have to cast a trans man for the film Rub and Tug, which inevitably probably won't be made now as a result of Scarlett Johansson exiting the role. Now, let's get into it, and then I'll go back and forth with my thoughts. So it says exclusive. We at Geeks Worldwide have acquired information regarding another casting that is underway for the Marvel Cinematic Universe under the codename Jessica. The role is for an upcoming Marvel Studios project that is filming sometime in 2020. And thus, the possible options are Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Loki, Hawkeye, or Thor, Love and Thunder. Now, Jessica is a role for a trans woman actress of any ethnicity in her 20s to 30s. With Marvel Studios' recent trend of diversifying existing characters for Phase 4, such as changing the Eternals' Makari from a white male character to a black deaf female. I didn't know that was a thing, but that's strange. Jessica, what a weird change. Just as a side note, that's a very strange change. Needless, but whatever. Jessica could be any character in any of the projects aforementioned. However, Geeks Worldwide thinks the role is for Thor, Love and Thunder, as the casting breakdown calls for transgender actress only. Now that's where I think that's where I think it's wrong, because again, like I said, first and foremost, I think they're actors. I see no problem with Scarlett Johansson playing a trans man, and I see no problem with transgender actors playing, what do they call it? Cisgendered. Sorry, get my terminology correct. Now, that's where I think it's wrong, is that they're only going for just a transgender actress. But outside of it being a transgender, I've got no issue with that. Not at all. My main point is that it, first and foremost, should just be open to actors. That's all it should be open to. So the fact that they are, that's discrimination. Unfortunately, there's no two ways around it. You are literally casting someone solely because of their gender identity. So that is discrimination. Don't think you're allowed to do that. I am surprised, but I guess they get around it because it is for a role. But like I say, first and foremost, these people are actors and actresses, and I think that they shouldn't be identified by, their own gender identity. I think in a professional capacity, the best actor wins. So again, no issue with the fact that they're casting for transgender. Don't care. Just the fact that they're only casting transgender. I guess that's my main point here. Now it says, therefore, it could very well be Marvel's only existing trans woman superhero, Sarah. I didn't know about this character until I read this article. In the comics, Sera is an anchorite, so I may have got that wrong. A small group of male, wingless angels who were kept inside a temple in heaven, the 10th realm. Sera was the only one of the anchorites who identified as a woman, thus being the first and, so far, only major trans woman in Marvel Comics. She was kept inside the temple until she met Angela, Thor's long-lost half-sister, and helped her defeat a monster. For her help, Angela freed Sera, and they stuck together through many adventures across the 9 realms, eventually becoming lovers. Now, Sera's presence in Love and Thunder would suggest that the 10th realm will play a major role in the movie, which I can see their train of thought. Now, I'm going to add to this. If you're having Mighty Thor, what is now, the female Thor, in the comic, it could be because she's dead or she's about to die, as per the comics, right? She gets cancer. So it could be that this is the main crux of how the 10th realm comes into it, heaven. I think that's a logical narrative step that you can make, and I can see why the article believes that. Now it says the 10th realm heaven was once connected to Yggdrasil. Hopefully that's how you pronounce it. But the angels started a war against Asgard, and the queen of the angels seemingly killed Odin's daughter, Aldrich. As punishment, Odin sealed off heaven from the other 9 realms, and the angels would live in solitude. As it turned out, however, Aldrich was alive, kidnapped, and raised as Angela in heaven. When Thor and Loki discovered this, they reopened the door to heaven. Later in the War of Realms storyline, the angels invaded Midgard and Asgardia. These elements could be used in Love and Thunder to make the angels the primary antagonist against New Asgard. Perhaps Sera will be the queen Valkyrie is looking for, if not Jane Foster herself. Didn't really need to add that bit at the end, but whatever. Look, I've got no issue with them having a trans woman in Marvel. Don't care. Literally don't care at all. The way people identify and things like that, it shouldn't really be important to major storylines, but the fact that they're looking... my main gripe with this, and I think anyone can agree, because you can't be a hypocrite. Those on the right which said, and again, I'll use this as an example, that Scarlett Johansson should be able to play whoever she wants. Again, you can't be a hypocrite. Like, anyone should be able to play any role. And that's the same with the people all on the left as well. If you think that, anyone should be able to do this, or, a transgender, trans woman, trans man can obviously play roles, then the same can be said for cisgendered people. First and foremost, these people are professional actors and actresses. That's first and foremost what they should be. I'm sure they would much prefer to be known as, actors and actresses first, as opposed to just knowing, them being known for the way they identify. I'm very much certain that they would appreciate that as well. I could be wrong, obviously, but having had transgender friends, they just want to be accepted. So I don't think they really want the fact that their identity strewn all over the place. Unless you're an absolute narcissist, then yeah, maybe. But I thought this was an interesting one. Like I said, I did sit on this because I was wondering where all the other kind of commentator channels would have went with it. But it seems no one's talked about it. So I wanted to get ahead of it and put my own thoughts out there. I am surprised. I was expecting a lot of derogatory, bigoted, videos coming out surrounding this. I think my only issue, and I think it's a very fair one, is that discrimination of any form shouldn't be happening. Even if it's positive discrimination, it's still discrimination nonetheless. You shouldn't have discrimination. My dog is just stealing my post. Can you... Excuse me. Got my post. God damn. Right, anyway. Sorry. That was a rude interruption from my dog and the postman. So, I'm going to leave this in. I could cut it out, but I think you guys will find it funny. So, god damn. Guys, I'm going to wrap up the video here. A lot of people have asked about my dog. Let me just get my dog, because I'm sure some people will care. Come here. As he's made a cameo in the video now already. God damn. Right, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a like and share it. If you're new here, make sure you hit subscribe for what I would consider to be common sense takes, but, you know, nonetheless, they'll get hates, you know, regardless. But guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, I have been Mr. H. Take care.